morning. I'm Jerrel Dulay from Sungrand, developer of the Silver Falls games. Today, I wanted to share with you my wish list for the features in the upcoming follow-up to the Nintendo Switch. Now, to preface this, I don't have any insider information on the upcoming Nintendo Switch hardware. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not actually leaking information. I am just a developer. I make video games exclusively for Nintendo consoles. And I just wanted to share you what I would love to see in terms of unique features for the upcoming Nintendo Switch. Now, I won't be calling it the Nintendo Switch 2. I'll be following the Wii and the Wii U naming logic, but instead of calling it the Switch U, I'm going to call it the Swütch. I'm going to take the U, I'm going to put it inside the word Switch, but it's not going to be a normal U, it'll be a U with an umlaut over it. That's the two little dots, and that's because it makes the U look like a little happy face. And I think a little positivity goes a long way in our world, and maybe it'll put a smile on someone's face. So I'll be calling the follow-up to the Nintendo Switch the Swütch. So first and foremost, most importantly, the feature that I would love to see on the Nintendo Switch is wireless docking display. So the wireless dock display would serve functionality similar to the Nintendo Wii U, and that means that you would be able to wirelessly display content on your television. Of course, you would have your dock that is plugged into your television's HDMI port, but the Swütch hardware would be able to display content on the handheld display and on the TV display separately. This would allow for ports of Wii U games either through virtual consoles or through total HD remasters. This offers a significant opportunity for the industry to try again. I feel that we didn't really get a fair shot at using the Wii U to its full potential. Lately in our industry, we have seen a shift towards focusing on creative, passion-driven games as opposed to just really only taking AAA games seriously. We are now really understanding and enjoying how great games can be from smaller studios and independent developers who create games because they've had an interesting idea and they want to create something new and different and exciting, and exploring ideas that larger studios just aren't able to take the risk in exploring. And I feel that we now have a situation where if we had the Swütch able to display content on the handheld display and on the TV display wirelessly, that we would really see some really exciting innovations and evolutions in the game industry in terms of game concepts. Next, I would really love to see a dedicated VR headset. I'm going to call this the Nintendo View, but it's spelled V-U, and that's U with a little umlaut, of course, because a little smiley face. So, how the View will work is it'll be quite lightweight, it'll be very comfortable for basically anyone to wear, and your Nintendo Swütch will sit comfortably in the View, but the difference is you can still wirelessly display content on the TV screen on your wireless display, and that allows the VR player to now wear the View headset. They can experience a fully fledged, mature VR experience where the technology has matured, and in terms of game concepts, we're starting to understand really what we can offer players. So the player is able to experience this VR gameplay while other players that are in the room with them can use their controllers and they can play using the television display. And that will allow for very interesting and exciting asymmetrical gameplay. Whether it's co-op or whether it is competitive, I feel that there is an immense opportunity here, and to not seize on this opportunity would be quite a shame for the game industry. I know that my fellow game developers out there would come up with some truly exciting ideas. So that's something that I probably don't feel is very likely, but it's certainly on my wish list, and I will expand further from there as well as we go along. Next, I would really love to see the return of StreetPass. So for anyone who is unfamiliar with the concept of StreetPass, for the Nintendo 3DS, players were able to keep their consoles with them, and if they past other 3DS owners on the street, their consoles would perform a bit of a handshake, and say for example one character's me could become a guest in the other player's console and would be able to assist them in in-game quests. They could send items. So even you know, third-party games can implement StreetPass in interesting ways, and you can send content and items, and you can help other players. And it would be fantastic to see StreetPass return, not just from a fun standpoint, but from a business and logical standpoint. So we want players to keep their consoles with them, and StreetPass is a reason and a reward because it allows game developers to do significantly more. But it builds a sense of community and togetherness, like we are all working together towards something. And now I'm speaking towards investors here a little bit. Building a sense of investment and attachment with your console is a very good thing, because the more investment and the more attachment someone has towards their game console, the more that they will keep their game console with them. And the more that they keep their game console with them, the more likely those people will be to purchase more games. So from a business standpoint, everyone benefits from StreetPass. So I would love to see that return, because I feel that we could really come up with some great, exciting, and interesting, fun gameplay ideas with that. The next feature that I would really love to see on the Nintendo Swütch is a rear camera. Now, the front-facing camera, I would say, is not necessary. That likely adds a cost, which would be exploring a concept which I think we've fully explored, the front-facing camera concept, probably a sufficient amount through the industry, so it's not something that necessarily would allow us to do anything new or exciting, but the rear-facing camera would be quite important. In conjunction with the other features that I have proposed for the Nintendo Swütch, we will have the option to create augmented reality games, so players can see the real world through their camera, but they can see in-game objects. There's a significant potential that we have to create exciting and interesting game ideas this way, but also this feature works in line with the Nintendo View, because now you have virtual reality, but augmented reality. Because you have that rear-facing camera, you're able to see the world around you. How exciting would that be to explore the world around you through that virtual reality headset and be able to turn that into a game and interact with game objects in your real world? And that goes in line with the final feature that I would like to wish for. I would love to see a mobile app that would add significant functionality to the Nintendo Swütch. For now, I'll just call this the Nintendo Go app. I don't know if that's trademarked or anything, but that's what I'll be calling it. So the Nintendo Go app would connect with your Nintendo Swütch, and it would provide GPS functionality. So now your Nintendo Swütch knows where you are in the world, and you can explore, and games can take advantage of your GPS location, whether it is for finding new missions, exploring, finding new magical creatures to befriend and battle. But again, using that Nintendo Go app and having it dedicated offloads that processing overhead for any kind of voice chat, messaging, and other kind of features that we would expect that may not work as streamlined on the console itself. Having your mobile device perform all those functions would keep things streamlined. But lastly, bringing all these features together. Imagine exploring a real-world environment with other Swütch users, connecting through GPS functionality, because you are all now on a quest that occurs through a limited time, and now you're able to interact. You have StreetPass, so now you're all helping each other through the gameplay, and through the GPS functionality and online multiplayer connectivity. Because your Swütch has now connected through the Nintendo Go app, you now have functionality to play online anywhere you go, and you can connect with other players. And imagine seeing other players using their view. Say you're all in a park together, and you are using your view headset, you're looking around, and you can see the other players in your real world. Maybe you're all piloting mecha together, Maybe you are piloting spaceships. It's all very exciting. So these are all features that I would love to see that would give developers a chance to bring something exciting and new, that I feel this is something that only Nintendo could execute on and perform really what I think would be the next step in the gaming industry, and really offer something interesting to not just game developers, but gamers. So thank you for listening. I hope you found that interesting. And if you have your own wish list for the Nintendo Swütch, please let me know in the comments below. Take care of yourselves.